Everyone loved Mama Esther. She stitched smiles into every gown and patched heartbreak into every hem. To the people of Odena, she wasn't just the best seamstress in the village. She was family. Women trusted her with their wedding dresses, market wrappers, and even their most private garments. But none of them knew what happened after the shop doors closed at sunset. When laughter faded and the swing stopped, behind the colorful fabrics and the kind eyes, Mama Esther was hiding something wicked, and the first to discover it was Ajoke. Odena was a lively village with a market that buzzed like a festival. Goats cried, children ran with sugar canes in their hand, and women bargained over fish and peppers. In the far corner of that market stood Mama Esther's sewing shop, painted in bright yellow with soft curtains that danced in the breeze. She worked very fast and neatly. If a bride's dress tore the day before the wedding, Mama Esther fixed it in an hour. If someone needed a burial cloth, she did it with respect and care. But that same shop where women laughed and chatted during fittings was the same place the darkness lived. It began like a whisper. One girl didn't return home from the stream. Another was last seen walking from the tailor's shop. At first, people thought they had run away or been taken by wild animals. But when the third girl vanished, right in broad daylight, the whisper turned into a scream. Mothers cried until their eyes turned red. Fathers stopped going to work. Elders called meeting under the Iroko tree. Some blamed witches, others blamed outsiders. The village priest fasted for 3 days, hoping for a vision, but no answers came. Ajoke sat quietly through it all. She watched, she listened, and something inside of her started to connect the dots. The one thing the missing girls had in common: they all visited Mama Esther's shop a few days before they disappeared, and every single one of them had brought underwear for mending. Ajoke wasn't just Mama Esther's apprentice. She was like a daughter, or so she thought. She had joined the shop 2 years earlier after her mother died. Mama Esther took her in, taught her how to sew, how to fold fabric, and even how to greet customers with a smile. But lately, Mama Esther has become strange. She sometimes spent hours in the back room. She locked the door when she thought no one was watching. She smiled less. She no longer allowed Ajoke near the wooden box in the corner. One night, when the moon hung low like a sad eye in the sky, Mama Esther left to attend a vigil. Ajoke knew it was her only chance. Her hands trembled as she crept into the back room. The air smelled like old perfume and candle wax. Her eyes went straight to the box. It was heavier than she expected. She slowly opened it and froze. Underwear, dozens of them, neatly folded. Some looked brand new, others old and faded, but each one had a strange brown stain near the center, almost like dried blood. A cold wind rushed through the room. Even though the windows were closed, she felt something move inside her chest, inside the walls, inside the silence. She slammed the box shut and ran to her room, heart racing like a drum. The next morning, the sun rose peacefully, but Ajoke's soul did not. Mama, she asked slowly, "Why do you keep those underwear in that box?" Mama Esther didn't look up. She kept sewing a blue blouse, her fingers moving like a machine. "What boss, Ajoke?" she said gently. "The one in the back. The one with all the girls' underwear." Mama Esther's hand stopped. Her needle dropped. She turned slowly. Her face changed. The softness melted away. In its place was something cold, something almost hollow. Ajoke, some questions are dangerous to ask. But Mama, Ajoke whispered, her voice shaking. I saw them. I touched them. And all the girls who disappeared, they brought their underwears here. There was a long silence. Then Mama Esther walked towards her. Her eyes were dark, not angry, not sad, just empty. If you knew the truth, you would not be asking these questions, she said. What truth? Ajoke asked, stepping back. Mama Esther grabbed her arm tightly. Her grip was stronger than Ajoke expected. Don't speak of this to anyone, she hissed, or you may be next. Ajoke yanked her arm away and ran. That night, Ajoke couldn't sleep. Her heart was heavy with fear, but her soul refused to stay silent. She ran to the elders and told them everything about the boss, the stains, the back room, and the warning. By morning, the whole village was awake. Men stormed Mama Esther's shop. Women stood with their children, holding them close. Mama Esther stood tall at first, smiling as usual. What is the meaning of this? She asked. But they pushed past her. They entered the room. And when they opened the box, even the strongest men gasped. Underwear, black stains, strange smell. But that was not all. In the wardrobe beside the box were dozens of small hand-sewn dolls, each one wrapped in pieces of cloth. Some had nails through the head, others had twisted limbs. Each doll had a name stitched in tiny thread, and every name belonged to a missing girl. The village priest arrived, his face turned pale. These are not dolls, he said. These are charms, sacrifices. Mama Esther knew it was over. She fell to her knees in the middle of the shop, in front of the elders, the villagers, the priest, and Ajoke. Her lips shook. Tears ran down her face, but no one moved to comfort her. I did not want to do this, she whispered. I never wanted to hurt anyone. But you did, one mother shouted, holding up one of the corridors. My daughter is gone. Mama Esther cried louder. I was desperate. I made a mistake. The village priest stepped forward. Tell us everything from the beginning. Mama Esther looked at the crowd. Her voice shook as she spoke. Years ago, I was very poor. My husband died. My children were sick. I had no money. My sewing shop was dying. No one came to me. I cried every night, begging for help. She paused, sobbing into her hands. Then one night, a man came to me. I don't know where he came from. He wore black clothes and his eyes were red like fire. He said he could give me success, money, fame. He said people would love me. Ajoke felt her heart beating fast. What did he ask for in return? The priest asked quietly. Mama Esther looked up. He said it was simple. He needed clothes, a piece of clothes from young girls, something private, something close to their bodies. I didn't know what he wanted to do with it. I thought it was harmless. You gave him their underwear? The priest said. At first, only once. Then again and again. He gave me money. More customers came, and I became the most trusted seamstress in Odena. But then, the girl started disappearing. The crowd listened in silence as Mama Esther continued. When I tried to stop, the man came again. He told me I belonged to him now, that the clothes was already cursed, that the spirit has tasted the girl's scent, and they wanted more. People in the crowd gasped and covered their mouths. I was trapped. I couldn't sleep. I heard voices. I saw things. Shadows in my mirror. Blood on my sewing machine. I was too afraid to speak. Ajoke stared at Mama Esther. She couldn't believe the kind, smiling woman she once admired had done all this. So you kept going? The priest asked. Yes, Mama Esther sobbed. I kept taking underwear. I made the doors to try and confuse the spirits. I thought maybe they would stop if I gave them something to hold on to. But they didn't stop, the priest said. They took more girls. Mama Esther looked down. Yes. The elders held a meeting that afternoon. Some villagers wanted Mama Esther to be hanged. Others wanted her to be handed over to the spirit she served. But the priest spoke up. If we kill her, we may never get the girls back. We must destroy the evil first. So that night, a large fire was built in the middle of the village square. All the underwear, all the dolls, and every strange item from Mama Esther's back room were gathered and thrown into the flame. The fire rolled high into the sky. Suddenly, the air grew cold. The trees shook. Though there was no wind, strange screams came from the fire. Long, painful cries like children weeping. People held their ears. Some fell to the ground. Then the fire changed color, from orange to deep blue. Dark shadows rose from it, twisting in the air like smoke snakes. They danced, hissed, and then shot up into the sky and disappeared. From the forest just behind the village, the sound of footsteps came. One by one, the missing girls began to appear. They were weak, dirty. Some couldn't even walk on their own. Others had empty eyes, as if they were still trapped in the dream. The villagers rushed forward, crying and shouting their names. Mira! Zina! Some! Mothers screamed in joy. Fathers fell to their knees. Children wept as they hugged their sisters again. Ajoke looked around and felt tears fill her eyes. They were alive. Not all of them, but many had returned. Some girls had forgotten everything. They didn't remember the forest, the sewing shop, or the man in black. The priest prayed over each one, blessing them and pouring oil on their heads. The village rejoiced, but a fear still remained. Mama Esther was not killed. Instead, the elders chose banishment. She was sent out of the village with only the clothes on her back. No food, no money, no name. As she walked into the forest, barefoot and crying, the people watched from a distance. May the spirit she served deal with her, one elder said. Some say she wandered for days. Others say the spirit found her that night and took her soul. No one ever saw her again. But Ajoke, she could not forget. Ajoke became a hero in Odena. People thanked her, praised her, called her brave. But inside, Ajoke felt cold, empty. She left the village one morning without telling anyone. She took only her sewing needle and her mother's old wrapper. I will never trust another smile again, she whispered. She moved to a faraway town and started a new life. Quiet, simple. But years later, she heard something on the radio. Girls were disappearing in another village. No one knew why, but there was one strange detail that caught her attention. Every girl who vanished had visited a sewing shop in town. The woman who owned the shop, an old woman with a wide smile and a wooden box in her back room.